Ever wonder how top consultants, the ones at places like McKinsey or Bain, tackle these massive, world-changing business problems? Well, it's not some kind of magic. It's a toolkit. And today, we're going to pry that toolkit open and show you the 10 essential frameworks they use to turn total chaos into crystal clarity.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a huge question. Picture this. A global company is hemorrhaging market share. Profits are in a nosedive. We're talking about $1 billion problem here, and the pressure is on. I mean, where do you even start? It feels impossible to untangle, right?
Well, the secret isn't some single stroke of genius. It's all about having a system. Consultants live and die by their frameworks, and you can think of them like blueprints for your thinking. They give you a structured way to take a giant, messy problem and slice it up into smaller, manageable pieces that you can actually solve.
And that is the core idea right there. When you're facing this storm of data and opinions and straight-up panic, a good framework is your anchor. It helps you see the patterns, pinpoint the real root causes, and find a clear path forward. These frameworks are the tools we're about to unpack from this Consultants Toolkit.
But before we open that toolkit, we have to learn the one golden rule that governs every single tool inside, the Mies principle. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It just means mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Simply put, when you break down a problem, your categories can't overlap, and all your categories added together have to cover all the possibilities. No double counting and absolutely no missing pieces. This is the bedrock of clear, logical thinking.
So, let's open up the first drawer in the toolkit. This whole section is about looking outward. See, before you can even think about fixing a problem inside a company, you have to understand the world it lives in, the industry, the competitors, the whole market.
And the first tool we're pulling out is a big one, Porter's 5 Forces. This is the absolute go-to framework for getting a handle on the competitive intensity of an entire industry. It basically tells you where the power really lies.
The real magic here is seeing how these 5 forces push and pull against each other. A consultant looks at the threat from new players jumping in, the power your customers and your suppliers have over you, the risk that some substitute product comes along, and of course how brutal the rivalry is with your current competitors. It's this combined view that paints a super clear picture of who's really holding the cards and the profits in any given industry.
But Porter's isn't the only tool for looking outward. For a really quick, focused snapshot of the immediate market, consultants love the 3 C's. You just look at your own company, your direct competitors, and your customers. Then, to zoom way out and see the big picture trends, they use pest analysis. That's where you scan for major political, economic, social, and technological shifts that could change the whole game.
Okay, so once you've sized up the battlefield, what's next? Well, you have to turn that lens inward. A winning strategy needs more than just knowing the market. It demands a brutally honest look in the mirror. And this is that crucial pivot point from external analysis to internal analysis.
All right, let's pop open the second drawer of our toolkit. Think of these as the diagnostic instruments. These are the tools that help a consultant check a company's pulse, understand all its moving parts, and figure out where it's truly great and where it's falling short.
Now, you've almost definitely seen this one before. The classic SWOT matrix. Its power is in its simplicity. It forces you to organize your internal strengths and weaknesses right up against the external opportunities and threats you just found. And that's what makes it so useful. It acts as the bridge connecting your internal reality to the external world you just analyzed.
Next up, the BCG matrix. This is a fantastic tool for any company juggling a bunch of different products. You just plot them on this grid. Your stars are the future. You invest heavily. Your cash cows are exactly what they sound like. They're mature and just generate cash to fund everything else. Question marks are the wild cards. They could become stars or they could fizzle out. And the dogs? They're usually in slow-growth markets with low share, and they might be draining your resources. It's a really effective, no-nonsense portfolio checkup.
For a really deep dive into a company's soul, there's the McKinsey 7S model. The core insight here is that a brilliant strategy is totally useless if the other 6 S's aren't aligned to make it happen. It forces you to look past the hard stuff like structure and systems and really examine the soft stuff like shared values, staff, and skills. If even one S is out of sync, the whole organizational engine can start to sputter.
So you've analyzed the world outside, and you've diagnosed the company on the inside. Now for the final drawer, creating the actual plan. These are the tools that help you decide where to go next, and more importantly, how you're going to win.
So how does a company actually grow? The Ansoff Matrix lays out 4 really clear paths. You can try to sell more of your current products to your current customers, that's market penetration, or you could create new products for them, or find totally new markets for your existing stuff. Or you can go for the whole shebang, new products for new markets, which is full-on diversification. It just makes your growth options crystal clear.
And finally, how do you even know if you're winning? Well, consultants use 2 key tools here. First, they look inward with the balanced scorecard. This is great because it prevents that tunnel vision on just profits by making you measure customer happiness, how efficient you are, and innovation too. Then they look outward with benchmarking, where you compare your own performance against the absolute best in the business. One tells you if you're running your race well, the other tells you if you're even in the right race to begin with.
And there you have it. We've just journeyed through the 3 main drawers of the Consultants Toolkit. And look, these aren't just fancy business school buzzwords. They are powerful, structured ways of thinking that you can apply to pretty much any complex challenge you can imagine.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to this simple, powerful structure. First, you size up the battlefield. Second, you take a hard look in the mirror. And third, you chart the course forward. That 3-step process, powered by the right frameworks, is how consultants bring order to chaos and find brilliant solutions where most people just see a mess.
Now, these tools were designed for those billion-dollar business problems we talked about, sure. But the underlying principle, using structure to break down complexity, that's universal. So I'll leave you with this question. From planning your career to just a personal project, what's a complex problem in your life that could use a little less chaos and a little more framework?